Now let's bring in Osama Nazzal, who's a Palestinian affairs analyst. He joins us live from Jenin in occupied West Bank. Very good to have you on the program. Let's start with this international statement. You've got 25 countries now calling on Israel to immediately end the war in Gaza. Israel totally rejects this statement, saying, no, this is just basically propaganda for Hamas. What's it going to take to get Israel to listen to the international community that appears to be calling for an end to the war?
When the international community proves to Israel that it has principles and it has teeth at the same time, because yes, the statement issued by the 25 countries, including Britain and France, is very important, because this shows that there is a change not only at the level of the public opinion, as we used to say, but now the governments also are convinced that there must be an end of this war, which has no justification at all nowadays, and Israel is just going on for the purpose of killing. Israel is killing the Palestinians for the purpose of killing, for the purpose of ethnically cleanse Gaza and all of Palestine. Now, these governments are aware of that, and the governments that issue such statements are much better than the governments who refuse to issue any statement or to even comment on the Israeli massacres. But shall these statements be followed by actions on the ground? For example, shall the UK stop providing Israel with arms used by Israel to kill the Palestinians? Shall the European Union end its a trade agreement with Israel if Israel does not stop its genocide? These are the questions that we raise all the time, because statements only, lip service only, is not enough to stop Israeli genocide against the Palestinians.
Let's look at this ground assault happening right now in al-Bala. Several Palestinians have been killed. This is the first time that Israel has gone in with ground troops. What do you make of what's happening over there?
What's happening in Gaza is a carnage. You know, Gaza is no longer a country. Gaza is a slaughterhouse now. Gaza has become the yard of death caused by the Israeli occupation. Israel used all the weapons that it has, the latest weapons it got from the United States, from the UK, and many other countries around the world, to pulverize Gaza, to crush Gaza. And it's doing that because when you look at Gaza, you see no standing homes at all. Even the tents that were erected by the United Nations organizations to shelter the displaced Palestinians, these tents were targeted by Israeli missiles and put on fire. So Gaza is a wasteland now, and it is fully occupied by the Israeli occupation, if not by the soldiers on foot, by the Israeli infantry. The Israeli drones and the Israeli warplanes are over every corner and every inch of Gaza. Gaza is not only occupied by Israel today. Gaza is decimated and murdered by Israel.
At the same time, there are reports about possible ceasefire negotiations happening. They're discussing possibly 60 days of a ceasefire and then possibly an end to the war. They're talking about a release of those hostages. With what you're seeing on the ground, this new ground assault happening in al-Bala, what do you think that's going to do to these ceasefire negotiations?
You know, what appears from the Israeli behavior is that Israel believes in one thing, which is win or loss. If Israel does not lose anything in this war, as its relations with the international community are going on as usual, and we hear it from some Arab governments officials, regrettably, that they are cementing their relations and they are normalizing all aspects of life with the Israeli occupation government. As long as Israel pays no price for bombarding Gaza, killing the people of Gaza, I think it is going to continue. Once Israel realizes that its economic relations and its ties with the international community are threatened, I think it would reconsider its genocidal steps and may come to an agreement with the Palestinian side. Anyway, we heard of statements that they are getting closer to a ceasefire, but as a Palestinian citizen, I won't believe that unless I see with my own eyes that the Israeli occupation warplanes and tanks are stopping bombarding and shelling the women and children of Gaza.
Mr. Nazzal, thank you so much as always for taking the time to talk to us here on TRT World.